Welcome back to our Proverbs Bible study series. We are going through the entire book of Proverbs day by day. Today we are in chapter 8. It is day 8. That makes sense. And the title, the theme of this specific chapter is When Wisdom Calls, You Answer. That's super cheesy, I know. And also, I'm going to try a different format for this specific video, so let me know in the comments if you've been watching up to this point what you like. Previously, I've been reading through the whole chapter, and then from there, we'll kind of do a breakdown. But today, we're changing it up. I'm going to just kind of go through each verse, and we're going to talk about it, okay? So let's dive in. So starting in verse 1, chapter 8, does not wisdom call? You see where I got the title from? Does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights beside the way, at the crossroads she takes her stand. Beside the gates in front of the town, at the entrance of the portals, she cries aloud. To you, O men, I call, and my cry is to the children of man. O simple ones, learn prudence. O fools, learn sense. Hear, for I will speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. Again, we see that wisdom is being personified, and it is basically just like it's available to all believers. It's out in the open. It's not in the secret. It's not a hidden code. All believers have access to wisdom, and it's ready to be poured out, as we've said many, many times in all of these videos. But it's available to everyone who seeks truth, all believers. God's wisdom calls us daily in our decisions, in our relationships, in our temptations, and our response determines our direction. When wisdom calls, you answer, and here's what she'll say. This is what she says. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. This is verse 7 on. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Now, kind of what stuck out to me, I mean, obviously, like, this is what wisdom is saying to us, and this is essentially what we will receive in return, especially over time. If you think about, like the older generation, like my grandparents, the wisdom of that generation is far beyond what we have in our generation. There are people that are very wise at our age, but you've been around for so long, and you've got life experience plus godly wisdom, especially someone that's been faithful to God over many, many decades. The goal inevitably is to become so wise that you're able to dispose. You're able to give wisdom to a younger generation. And that's where we were talking previously in a few other videos, that mentorship is really good. And I think through mentorship, we're able to both learn wisdom, but also encourage, disciple, and give biblical wisdom to a younger generation. The results are truth, a hatred of unrighteousness. I cannot talk. Truth, the hatred of unrighteousness, and ways that are straight. And then that last section is talking again about how, again, wisdom is just far superior, far greater than any riches. And of course, riches in this context, gold, jewels, pearls, silver, any kind of financial gain that we can possess here on earth, any kind of status in the workforce or fame, all of that stuff, it fades. Verse 12, I wisdom dwell with prudence. What is prudence? Prudence is cautiousness, and that has a direct correlation with discretion. And we've talked about that in previous chapters. You gain discretion, you gain that understanding, discernment, the ability to make really smart decisions as opposed to rash, off-the-cuff decisions. And the fear of the Lord is a hatred of evil. So with wisdom, we too will have that hatred towards evil that God hates. We gain prudence, we gain counsel and strength. We gain insight, and we gain favor. It says here that in verse 15, so verse 14, I have counsel and sound wisdom, I have insight, I have strength. 15, by me kings reign, and rulers decree what is just. So you're telling me that wisdom at least ought to partake in the ruling of nations. Interesting. Next, wisdom is timeless. Again, another repeat theme that we've talked about in previous videos. But before the foundations of the earth, before the seas and the mountains were shaped, before the hills were brought forth, every insect, every grain of sand, when God marked out the foundations of the earth, I was beside him like a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always. What a beautiful verse there. Wisdom just on display in accompaniment with Jesus as he just forms the earth. It was by wisdom that God formed the earth. I would make the case that this is an argument for a personal God. I don't want to get lost in the weeds going down that road for this video. We'll have to save that for another time. But in short, I think it's really hard to argue for an impersonal God when Scripture specifically says that I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always. If wisdom is eternal and it was there with God as he formed the heavens and the earth, and it rejoiced with him through creation, then this is describing personhood. It's emotional, it's relational, and it's creativity on the grandest of displays. Wisdom is transcendent and it is full of glory. And again, it's available to all believers for any that would seek after it. And I'll leave you with this as we close out this video. For whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself. All who hate me love death. Now, where have we heard that in the New Testament over and over again? Is Jesus the full embodiment of wisdom? Absolutely. That's going to be all for today. That's all for chapter 8. Hope you guys have an amazing day. We will see you tomorrow. Day 9, chapter 9.